Hi, my name is Eric Olson, Director of HELPS. I'm going to address a question we get fairly often with clients that have enrolled with HELPS or they're about ready to enroll with HELPS, and they owe a debt to a previous landlord, and they're worried about adding that in. So let me talk about this in general so you can understand the different issues and what you have to weigh in making a decision in that regard. Okay, so first off, your Social Security, your pension, your disability, your VA benefits, all that income is protected by law from collectors. They can't, if they sue you and get a judgment, they can't touch that money, and that includes a debt owed to a past due landlord. Okay, so the only problem you can have with a landlord is it can reflect negatively on your credit. Specifically, if you go to apply for a new house and they can make a credit application, if they see that you haven't paid your rent or there's been what's called an FED, that's called a forcible entry and detainer, or where you're, it's a legal process where you're evicted, they might just automatically turn you down. In other places on our YouTube channel and our website, we talk about something called a landlord letter. We give anyone in the country, it's a form letter that we address to the client that they can give to a landlord that explains to a prospective landlord that the senior's income, Social Security, pension, disability, VA benefits is protected by law. Even though they may have negative entries on their credit, it can't be garnished and taken from them, so it's available to pay their rent. And we tell seniors when we give them that letter, we give them another letter, tell them how to apply with a landlord. We tell them, show that letter to your prospective landlord. And a lot of them don't realize that your income is protected, and when they realize that, they might be more lenient in choosing to rent to you. Or you might not have to waste the $40 application fee if they say, no, if there's a problem with this thing or that thing, we're gonna turn you down. So you know ahead of time, you show them that letter. So let's get back to the issue with if you've got a past due debt owed to a landlord. If you know there hasn't been a negative entry on your credit and you're concerned about that not being there for that landlord, then, and if it's just a month's rent, maybe you can talk to the landlord and arrange to get that paid so that it doesn't put a negative entry on your credit that would affect your ability to rent a place. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. But if they've already done it and the bell's been rung and you can't do anything to unring the bell, then you really don't need to pay the debt, and you can add it in with one of the debts you owe to HELPS. You understand, even if they were to sue you and come after you, they can't touch your protected income. And when you're represented by HELPS, they can no longer communicate with you. So it's kind of a dicey issue and something to think about. But the bottom line is your income's protected. You just want to, it's not a bad idea if it's possible for you to try to arrange things so that there's not a negative entry on your credit relating to failure to pay rent. Because where you could have other negative entries on your credit that won't create a problem, but if a prospective landlord sees that you've been evicted before or you didn't pay your rent, they might be more likely to choose not to rent to you. So hopefully that helps out. That's not always the case. We'll have another video on YouTube that talks about those situations, but take that into consideration. Remember what we do. HELPS represent seniors and disabled persons to stop collector harassment. We don't turn anyone away. We help people in all 50 states. If you want to learn more, visit our website, www.helpsishere.org, or look at some more of our videos on the YouTube page, and subscribe to our YouTube page if you'd like to. And you have a great day. Hi, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to subscribe to HELPS YouTube channel, click on the button below. We prepare a YouTube video at least once every week dealing with financial issues for seniors and disabled persons. Have a great day.